Hello, and today we're at Guilford Courthouse because I wanted to come here, and since I wasn't able to make a 100 subscriber video of this place, so now we're doing it now, so deal with it. Alright, so over here we have some artifacts. We have just some vandal life stuff. We have an animal trap, head to a farming equipment, and a little plate and some like forks and tools and stuff. And right here we have a canteen and a spike head from the Continental Army, and we have a powder horn. So yes, very cool. And right here we have a hunting sword. We have a hunting sword that was carried by one in the Continental Army. And then over here we have a Native American spearhead and a cannonball. And right here we have a saber that was carried by a North Carolina guy during the Battle of Guilford Courthouse. So very cool. Okay, and over here we have uniforms and stuff like that. And yeah, North Carolina militiaman, that's what he would look like. And right here we have some buttons, coins, a mirror, some soap stuff, and glasses. So very cool. And then right here, that was what a continental soldier would look like. And he's got a potato on a fork, because he likes potatoes. And then we have a skewer, a lantern right here, a pocket knife, a pewter plate, some forks, a lighter, and a keg, and some canteens and cups. And also there's like a little horn over there with like, it's supposed to carry salt for personal consumption. I don't know why anybody would want to eat salt like on its own. Alright. My aunt's holding the camera. Come on. Come closer, please. Thank you. And over here we have an axe head and a knife and a pistol. And yeah, I have a big knife. I don't know what big knife was used for, but that's a big knife. And right here we have a tobacco pipe. Don't smoke, kids. And then we have some marbles, some dice, and like a pen for writing stuff. You see those guys in the big powdered wig riding with feathers. So yeah, that's in the movies. And then we have some epaulets. That's what the guys wore on their shoulders to make them, I don't know, to make sure they're an officer. And then right here we have a sword, some cannonballs, and some musket balls. And over here, it's really cool in here, we have a British cavalry pistol and what they think might have been Bannister Tarleton's pistol, or not pistol, but sword. Because in this portrait right here, the sword that he has right here looks very similar to that one. So that might be his sword, we do not know. It probably is. Or maybe he carried it with him back to England, I don't know. And then we have a lot of swords, very nice swords. And then we have some daggers, an antler knife. My dad made one of those, they're pretty cool. And we have a tomahawk head, which was found in Fort Ticonderoga in New York. I don't know what's going all the way down here. And then we have a hunting pouch and some more knives and like a shot bag, which you carried your bullets in. And then we have a melting ladle where you can melt some metal and like make bullets. And then we have like a musket ball mold where you can put the melted metal in the mold, and then you would have a musket ball once it finished like cooling. And then we have another bullet mold and a lot of powder horns, very many powder horns. And then we have some cartridge boxes, and then some cavalry cartridge boxes. And if you look up here, we have a lot of bayonets and like a halberd axe head. And then we have some spontoons or pikes that they were kind of like irregular infantry that carried pikes. So yeah. And then we have some pistols down there, some muskets and a long rifle, some artillery powder horns, and some cannonballs and grape shot balls. And then we have a drum that was carried at the battle and a was carried at the battle to make all wonderful music while people are being killed. So, yeah. And now we get to the exciting part. Here we have a cannon that was made in Scotland in 1776. And as you see, do not touch, so you can't touch it through the camera, so don't do that. And then have a lantern and like a brick and some nails for building stuff. You know, if you want to build a house in the middle of the battle, yeah, you can do that. And over here we just have some like insignias for the regiments, kind of exciting. And over here in front, there's actually a big board of information, but I'm gonna just sum it up. So right here is where the North Carolina militia would have been fleeing, so they would have been fleeing right through here. And then they actually have some like men right there, so that's pretty cool. And then over here, more insignias for the Continental Army if you want to look at those. And then over here, this is the exciting part I was talking about. This is a, let me look at the sign because I don't know this stuff off of it. British 3-pounder light infantry gun model 1776. That's a mouthful. So what you would do with this cannon, you would take a little corkscrew here, you would take this, you would put it down the barrel and make sure there was no remnants of the old shell that were in there. I don't want to break it. And after you did that, you would wet the sponge, you would put the sponge down the barrel to put out any lighting embers, because if you put a cartridge in there while embers were still lighting, it could blow your hand up. And then, once you did that, you can put your cartridge in there and ram it down with this thing. And then after you did that, you would prime that little hole right there. You probably can't see it, but you could prime it. And then you could get your rope. You could put it down there, puncture the bag with it, and then light the rope on fire, and then boom. You got a shell going down range, and you probably just knocked out a whole line of infantry. And now over here, we have some buttons, a lead fragment, some nice cannonballs. We love cannonballs. Pistol balls, buckshot, musket balls, all that good stuff. And then some flint that was used for guns. So yeah, and then we have a bayonet all by itself up there, kind of lonely. You guys need to find more bayonets from the battlefield so that bayonet can have a friend. And then we have some more lead fragments, a rifle and nose cap, and just like some molds, and then more musket balls and swords and powder horns and bayonets. And then right here we have cannonballs and some stuff from guns. And then we have like the flintlock like plates. And then we have some more bayonets and some shoe buckles and swords and American spontoon head that was carried at the Battle of the Alamance and Guilford Courthouse. I'll make a picture video on the Battle of the Alamance soon. Like, don't rush me. I put out a video like once every 2 months because I just do shorts, so yeah. I'll put it out sometime. It may be in 10 years, but I'll put it out. So here we have some more musket balls and just more stuff. And then we have a pipe fragment, sleeve button, and yeah, butt plate and a spoon. And then over here we have some medical tools. Good medical, well, no, those aren't medical tools. Those are just shoes and stuff like that. And here's a prayer book. A prayer book before you go into battle. So yeah. And then this is where you would get your arm cut off. So we have a medicine cup. We have a bullet extractor, some tweezers, an amputation saw, and then a basin to catch your blood, because you're probably gonna be bleeding out. And then over here we have the beautiful flags. That is the Guilford Courthouse flag. The Guilford Courthouse flag was carried by the militiamen at Guilford Courthouse. I'm thinking about buying one of these at the gift shop because it's very cool. And then we have British flag, ew. And then we have flag with stars and then regular British flag. And now I will hold the camera and talk about the cannon in the lobby. Wait. So here is the cannon in the lobby. It is a nice cannon. Very nice cannon. And then they also have these things. Yeah, these things. But yeah, very nice cannons. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.